think pretty much what they did in the first half. They've got to keep running, they've got to keep moving the ball. They can't get too stagnant. Late in that second quarter, they were happy to chip the ball around, which played straight into Collingwood hand.
By contrast, Collingwood, to get back into it, they thought they were back, didn't they? Aided by the inaccuracy of Carlton, but they've still got the job in front of them. They haven't scored a lot of goals.
Yeah, exactly right. Collingwood just need to keep their defensive pressure up, keep it in and under. If the ball gets on the outside, plays into Carlton's hands. So Collingwood just wants a nice little fighting close.
Well, Tim Watson down on the boundary, so much carnage tonight. What about those injuries?
Well, I think it's a real concern for Carlton is Cade Simpson. Now, the medicos spoke to him at three-quarter time while all the players gathered at the huddle, and it looked like he shook his head, and that may be the end of the night for him. That's Cade Simpson. Also, been watching Daisy Thomas really closely too, and he's moving like sticking plaster at the moment, so he's really got some concerns with that foot that he injured. And the other player, Marley Williams, when he left the ground with a shoulder, and we haven't seen him reappear yet either. So both sides have got some injury concerns going into what is going to be a frantic last quarter of football.
Well, look, we talked about this earlier. Matthew Cruiser, he's had no help tonight on the ball. He's got to run this one out. How he goes could determine the outcome.
Exactly right. It's going to be a big last quarter.
OK, here's Bruce to get us underway.
But a terrific game on a Friday night at the G before a very big crowd. These two great rivals, and Carlton lead by 11 points. They've led for just about the whole night. Gibbs gets the ball forward. Walker held up. So it's the first time that Collingwood have trailed at three-quarter time since Adelaide round 9. They kicked 5-5 to 3 points that night. But probably more interestingly, only once have they come from further behind at three-quarter time and beaten Carlton. That's once only. 1970, a famous year for coming from behind. Round 8 at Waverley. Collingwood trailed by 20 points and got up on one. So all those matches between these two great teams, they need to do something a bit special here tonight. Cruiser taps forward. It's been a night of carnage. And a couple of reports, and one you feel will be pretty serious. Sinclair goes back to Fasolo. Good smother McLean. Well done by Cruiser. Judd running onto it and then hooks the ball forward. Betson O'Brien. Well played by Maxwell. Big kick for Daigan. He's kicked 2. He's kicked 3. Daigan and 3 in the one sentence.
Wow. There we go. That was terrific. We talked about being able to taste it. Well, it's on their lips now. And Collingwood could see those 11 straight just going down the gurgler, Bruce.
As you said, it's hard to keep winning. Brett Ratton, well, he's been under the pump for a while. It's been a masterstroke diving forward, hasn't it?
They ran it forward, but they created the turnover by the pressure on the Collingwood player on the way out. Well, when they got it back in, Daigan finished, Judd ran off the ball, and Cruiser got involved. So all the good players got into the action.
Jolly knocks it down to Fasolo, kicks it down towards half forward, bounces very high. McGuinness got a fist on it, didn't knock it too far. Cloak goes back to side bottom forward of the wing, sends it down towards Goldsack, got his hands to it. Dawes trying to find a way through. Gibbs was waiting for him with attitude, and will have a ball up. So Nick Daigan, 3 goals. His previous 262 kicks had yielded 1. Master stroke by Brett Ratton. Will it be enough to get them over the line? Rucks lock up. Jolly slaps it wide. Judd at close quarters to McLean. Over the top. Cruiser breaks away. Spring in his step. Doesn't look tired. He's rucked alone tonight. Pushing the back. It'll be a free kick to Collingwood. It'll be taken by Reid.
Stood firm, Reid. So Robinson, now he plays on. Well, now has Betts taken the advantage? No. So Garlett's actually got busy tonight. He's been averaging 10 disposals this year. This is his 12th. McLean was too far for him. Betts could still be dangerous. Side bottom concedes a behind. And Carlton now lead by 3 goals.
We've had some great examples of what Carlton have done really well tonight. We saw a game tackle by Bryce Gibbs down at half-back against the larger man Chris Dawes, and then the follow-up on Ben Reid there. Intensity's been great all night by the Blues.
Can you imagine what the next 25 minutes mean to them? I mean, if they were to win tonight, it changes everything, doesn't it? And Collingwood could be as low as 5th at the end of this round if they were to lose tonight.
Long kick from Fasolo, missed by Yaron, falls at the back. Yaron had a good night. Silky comes away from half-back, pops it up to the wing. McLean, who came on as the sub, has been very good. Looks back inside the centre square, finds the silk again. He's away. Yaron across the ground. Gibbs, will he run? No, he won't. Curnow is on for the short one. Ignores that. But McLean bobs up again. Little 1-2 between the pair. McLean goes for distance. Knows the MCG very well. Walker pushed out of the way by Goldsack. He kicks it directly onto the chest of Ed Curnow. Curnow just turns around and pops it to Collins. So distance will not be a problem. Collins has 1 goal. Came in a trade with the Tigers. Can have his biggest impact on his new club right here with this kick. You just get the feeling it'll be hard for Collingwood to come back from here. Momentum to start this final term. He's wearing navy blue. Collins right behind the kick. It's on the way. It's just working right to left. Misses by less than a metre.
Well, it's been the story of their second half, hasn't it? They've missed a lot of set shots. Wasn't quite going to be an Andreas Everett moment for him, but it's too long to go. But it was a big moment for Collins. Collingwood needing the next goal. They can work their way out of tight situations. We know that. Think back to that Adelaide match when they were so good under the pump. Now Joseph with courage. Well done. It's not a good sign for Collingwood, that. What a player this man is, Karato. I mean, he's just...
He's a good player, isn't he? Just keeps finding the footy. He can play the shutdown role, and we can actually just go and play the normal conventional ball getter in there.
McGuinness, first match for him. Yaron, it's been the go-to so often. Just so silky, as Dennis said. And can he find Daigan? Well, he didn't need to, because Eddie was waiting and lurking. Yaron, Betts and Garlett. Well, the three amigos... They've got their hats back on tonight, haven't they? They've got the sombreros on top of the noggin.
Well, he's just been so much better tonight, Yaron, than he's been the last couple of months. He missed a bit of footy through injury, then he's been back maybe 4 weeks. But when he gets the ball, he takes on the tackler. Carlton always look at their best.
Biggest kick of the night by anybody. And Eddie goes bang, and Betts has done a Daigan and kicked 3. Oh, Dennis.
Yeah,
I think Carlton were favourites for the flag when they beat Collingwood last night. I reckon now, for the first time tonight, they're favourites in this match.
I reckon you're right. Their pace is certainly unsettled. Collingwood tonight, along with some wonderful moves by their coach. Brett Ratton has done some of his best thinking with his back to the wall.
Played a really strong leadership role in the forward 50 for Carlton. And just as that goal went through, Heath Shaw called in the defenders. He really set the tone, a bit like Reece Shaw actually did a couple of Friday nights ago for the Swans. Said, look, we need to settle down. We need to make sure we stay in control here, not panic.
Swan, the look-away hand pass. Comes to side bottom, goes down towards half forward. Elliott, who's been quiet, not so Judd. Gibbs, short one. A little indecisive. It bounces inside the centre square. Goldsack gets back. In his hip pocket is Joseph. Blair did very nicely. Got it out to side bottom. Chips it wide. Sinclair just jabs it inside the forward 50. Swan, almost the mark, dropped it. Finds it on the deck. Is he being held without it? Flicks it towards goal. Lurking behind is Buckley. Strong tackle by Tui. Buckley got boot to ball. Sinclair smothered off the boot. Off the ground by Gibbs. Hectic stuff. Collingwood coming at Carlton. Robbins into the champ. Judd drives to the outer side. Daigan's in front, fisted away by Maxwell. On his knees almost, Garlett. Had a second chance at it. Side bottom. Taken across the line by Daigan. It wasn't reversed. I think Daigan was the involuntary man there, just riding the man he'd tackled across the line. Well done, McLean.
Gee, what a win there for Carlton, for Swan to get the ball in the forward 50 and to be held up. That is a massive result. Gee, Juddy's had 2 big games against Collingwood this year. Yaron runs his full measure and does it again. He might get the Swiss Yaron the way he's...
Don't they look so much better when Yaron's running off halfback? I mean, he hasn't done it for a couple of months. Almost, you see, what Yaron back in business is almost Carlton back in business.
He kicked the famous goal here this year, didn't he, Yaron, when he was in full flight?
It's great vision from Judd to bring the ball back inside. And the leading patterns here from Eddie Betts, just runs back towards goal, doubles up. Harry O'Brien never had touch and feel on him.
Well, I said Eddie's had the biggest kick of the night 2 minutes ago. Can he kick a fourth? He kicked 5 in round 3 and he's got 4 tonight. And they might be home, the Blues. Not sure if they can get back, Dennis.
Well, looking in the papers this morning, I think it was the Age I was looking in, no one selected Carlton, and with good reason. But gee, they belied that tonight. I'm baffled. I know Swan is doing some damage, but not to the same extent as Judd. I just can't believe they're letting him run as he likes. He's up to 29 now.
Great finish. I mean, it's amazing. We said last week, Carlton-Collingwood games, that Carlton get up when they're playing Collingwood.
Lee, you tipped it in the
Always.
post-game.
I don't know when it went that far, but they
take it.
strange things happen when Collingwood play Carlton on previous form.
You tipped it last week, and then you'd come in with a royal we tonight. Don't be so modest. As the ball goes down towards half forward, Armfield comes across the ground. Thomas is running with Judd now, but I think the stable door was left open for too long. Goes down towards the pocket, and the mark is taken by Clark.
Play on!
Plays on very close to the boundary line, and the mark is taken by Sinclair. Sinclair forward of left half back. Just pops it over the top. Buckley. Buckley drives it long down towards half forward. Watson came to the football, not in time. Cloak, strong hands. Running back is Shaw. Kick goes in that direction. Shaw takes the mark. Well, it's now or never now, and you think Carlton have got this game, but who knows? If Shaw would have kicked this, maybe there is a little hope. Everybody just ignoring the umpire. He's trying to set the mark down there.
Well, they've got to come out and win the game now. Collingwood take it on. Heath Shaw's come from half-back. He set the tone.
Well, Collingwood didn't kick a lot of goals last week, and they failed again to kick them tonight. There's Shaw. Kick is on the way. It's a good-looking kick. It slams into the post.
Geez, a magnificent play. I mean, that was just a wonderful mark. It was a good kick, but not the right result. But he showed a lot of leadership a moment ago when he called the team in together. So a little test here for Carlton. How do they hold their nerve? They're on a good lead. It's probably too big a lead, but it is Collingwood, and they are a winning team. Walker, good hands. Garlett hasn't kicked a goal, but he's been pretty handy. He's running hard. Tuvi must be quick. He took some ground off him. Garlett's kicked Walker. Collins, still Collins. Poor, oh no, okay, Walker's in trouble. They've messed it up, Carlton. They should have banged it forward. Reid kicks the ball to centre wing. Dawes and Tui. Dawes paddling, still paddling. Well, he had a really good all there, didn't he? Back to side bottom, back to Cloak. He'll wind it up, Cloak with a high, hard one. This'll test Gibbs. And Wellingham just,
Oh,
well, is that a free kick?
Oh, yeah, it was interesting. I mean, it looked like Gibbs was forced out of the contest unless he just collapsed out of it. We're interested in the replay here.
Hey, relax.
I think he just lost his balance, I think.
Yeah. He might have collapsed. Willingham is so good overhead, and they get that goal. It was a minute later than sure, but maybe. Just made a mess of it, Carlton at half forward, didn't they? They had a few chances. They mucked around a bit.
You're right about Tuvi too. Gee, that was a good chase, wasn't it? He actually corralled him and sent him back the other way, which was what he was trying to do. That was terrific.
He was Johan Blake and Garlett was Usain Bolt.
Yes. Usain's not going to run again until the Olympics.
No.
Wow.
Done a Ben Johnson. That's what he did in '88.
He looked like he was in a good position. I don't know. I still think he... Do you reckon Tom got thrown out of it on the replay? I'm not sure.
I think Gibbs lost his feet. Just one leg went down and lost momentum and looked probably like contact that wasn't there.
Wellingham kicked the ball quickly too, realising now time the enemy of Collingwood. Kick comes out wide. Beams met solidly by Robinson. He's a bit of a barometer, Robinson, when he's going. Carazzo did well on the ground. On the up, and they drive it forward. Curnow, but inside that defensive 50, O'Brien comes the other way. Sweeps a hand pass forward to Beams, who's been well held tonight. Shaw lays it across to Thomas. Thomas goes to the wing, taken by Cloak. Cloak looks down towards half forward. That's a lovely kick. What a beautiful kick. Dawes releases it to Goldsack. Well, Goldsack was sold into trouble there by Dawes. It made it very easy for Watson to come across and do the right thing. Still had some ground to make, but Goldsack had nowhere to go.
Collingwood threatening though, aren't they?
Yep.
Cruiser and Jolly, and then Carazzo just couldn't break away, and it'll be a ball up.
He hasn't dominated the game. Do you reckon Cruiser's pretty happy to do the first ruck again tonight, though?
Yeah.
I think he is.
Yep.
Yeah.
It happens so oftenly when a ruckman, and they are born and bred ruckman, get that opportunity to really take reins, and you see it time and time
again. Take over the job that he's best at.
Yep.
I'll tell you what will be the big test, Lee. Do they pick Warnock next week without Hampson?
It might depend if Wade comes up, if Henderson comes up. But I mean, the fact is, Carlton haven't got a second ruckman, you know, that's playing out there anywhere.
So Warnock probably comes in for North Melbourne, doesn't he?
Potentially.
And if you wanted an insight into the intensity Carlton there, there's a tackle stat, and probably the lack of it from Collingwood. He had 100 last week against Fremantle.
Carazzo to Yaron, to Curnow. Well done, Collins, actually. Belted the ball forward. Diagon, that looked a free kick over the shoulder in the back, but nothing happening. And again, a ball up. But this is okay for Carlton, isn't it? They don't mind this happening for the moment.
Nick, please.
Diagon's been great. He's really given Nick Maxwell something to think about tonight. The only men inside the forward 50. Not many forward of centre, as you can see. It's going to be hard work to win from here. We're down inside the last 10 minutes. The umpire will ball it up on the wing.
Carlton still look more dangerous than Collingwood even now on the spread. When the ball gets into space, they look more chance of running onto it than the Collingwood group as a bunch.
Margin 24 points. Beams got it from Fasolo. Goes back to Clark. Garland arrived quickly. Clark too long. Not happy Clark, but good call by the official. So Garland, what a mixed bag he's had tonight.
Kind of way, got to use his speed. Got to use his speed to tackle as well as run to the footy.
It's a relaxed kick inside the forward 50, and as a result, it was perfectly timed and found the target amongst a lot of Collingwood tall timber. Collins. We've sung his praises on the kick before, so let's see what he can do from here. I think he's going to fashion something exotic. This always worries me. Around he comes, Collins. Kicks into the man on the mark. Well done by Shaw. Tuvey for the break from Beams. Kicks it up towards the wing. How will it bounce? Here's trouble for Carlton. Swan corralled by Tui. Looks back inside. Brilliantly done. Sinclair 70 metres out. It's all one-on-one deep. Carlton trying to flood back. Blair runs to a hole. Takes the mark 40 metres out. Looks up, I think, almost to take a look at the clock. I don't think he was admiring the mark.
Yeah, we tried to fashion the inside kick, but gave the man on the mark a chance to get at him. Collins, that was a should have been a score at least for Carlton, shouldn't it?
Yep. One of those beach runners that Lee just loves. Blair directly in front. Big kick this one. Kick is on the way. It's holding its line. Oh, it hit the post again. That's two posters in the final term. Shaw hit the post, and now Blair. Collingwood try as they might. Can't get Carlton in their sights just yet.
Collingwood need to be really brave now. Their halfbacks need to push right up. Leave the Carlton players behind them. You've got to actually go and take the ball off them at the earliest opportunity.
Oh, Robinson almost. Sorry, Tom. Cruiser down low. That's a good pick-up. So 3 posters for Collingwood tonight and 1 for Carlton. Just finally on the beach sprinters. We know you.
Short and squat. That's
look
all.
at this,
Just
Robinson.
Short and squat.
But how good were you on the beach as a sprinter?
Well, I was pretty slow anyway, to be honest, Bruce. But I was the shape of a beach sprinter.
Okay.
That's the best I could say.
So the Speedo's on the beach, eh? Here's Blair. Collingwood still coming. Kicks to half forward. Yaron's been really good. Tui brought down, great tackle. And then Jamison takes the chance. McLean, really important when he came on, McLean tonight. Scotland against the old team. And has he kept the ball in? I think he has. Kicks to centre wing. Jolly, Daigan, Thomas so good in that second quarter. Really hurt his foot early. And there's a bit of a blue. Be careful.
Let it go now, let it go.
So Daigan and Thomas sorting it out. So time the enemy for Collingwood. They've got to create 4 goals. It's hard to see them doing it. They've kicked 7 all night.
Jolly works his way in front. Cruiser reaches over the top. McLean again. Well, he's trying to save his career. He's done pretty well just filling in tonight, though. He was made the sub, a bit of a surprise, but he got into the action early. Daigan's got a case. Umpire's got the footy. Collingwood haven't got much time. Jolly backhands it down. Willingham will get a free kick. He's on the wing. Clock is down to 6:42. Willingham looking down the ground. Watson is the spear man. Well, he goes directly at Watson. It's 3-on-2 then. Reaching over the top, Jamison gets it out of bounds. So a boundary throw in just outside the 50. Collingwood press up with their players now. If they can win a loose ball here behind the pack, Fasolo is lurking. Good work by Betts, demanding that Yaron get back from the pack. He was looking for a kick there when he needed to be looking for Fasolo. Meantime, at the footy, Robinson took one from his teammate. Judd goes after it, feeds it to McLean. Across it comes to Curnow.
Careful kick, Daigan. Now he has to hang on to it here, Daigan. Collins gets involved. Good pick up by Tuvey, getting the ball forward. No free kick.
Away with that.
Handball by Robinson over his head. Judd's been superb. Swings it to Daigan. Daigan to Curnow. Curnow to McLean. Well, the handball wasn't great. Collins gets down low. Needs to get the handball out. He does to Curnow. High tackle. That was slack. He had him doors done and he didn't need to tackle him so high. And Lee, your famous minutes and goals is about to kick in, I think.
Yeah, they're going strong, Carlton. I mean, they're going just as well as Collingwood. Need a U-turn in the game for Collingwood to outscore them by 4 goals from this point on.
Well, Curnow's kick. Well, Jolly should have taken the mark in the end. And he would have been uncontested and he belts the ball out of play.
That's as tangible an example of confidence, really, when you see a player like that. That would have been an uncontested mark there by Darren Jolly. Really experienced senior player. The Pies just down on their confidence at the moment.
Boundary throw in. Cruiser, Judd goes looking for a leading target in the forward line. Walker well held. O'Brien well slung and the ball spills out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. Judd is up to 32. Coming off 29 last week. So getting back to his best form after a particularly quiet week before that against the West Coast Eagles. That's McLean. Garlett trying to strip the ball away from Maxwell. Nothing doing, and the umpire will ball it up.
Juddy had 35, which is his season high against Collingwood in round 3.
Importantly, 17 kicks too, so he's been able to get clear and kick the ball.
So Carlton keeping it in the 50. Side bottom, Sinclair, Cruiser, and very important Cruiser. Left foot to the pocket. Walker and Reid. Can Walker turn his man? He does. And he puts the nail in the coffin. The Blues are back. He's kicked 2. I think, Lee, you wanted Walker to go forward and kick goals, and he has.
And Cruiser's ability to actually get the second effort at ground level. He was the one who was the big fellow who was prepared to get the ball on the ground. I mean, he really did make the goal out of nothing, this, didn't he, Walker? Just able to keep the ball in play and kick the goal. But Betts has got his 4, Daigan's got his 3. And keeping Collingwood to 7 goals, admittedly they've kicked 14 behinds, but there's been 5 rushed of those 14. So off the boot, it's only 7-9. Great defensive effort by Carlton.
The 65 tackles to 49 for Carlton have been great. And they just haven't missed them, Lee. When they've had an opportunity to tackle, we just saw Reid on that occasion. Missed the tackle. The Blues have nailed them every time.
Wide of the pack after some heavy work from Cruiser. Swan kicks it out towards the boundary and it goes out of bounds. So the players have done very well tonight, and so is the coach.
Tell you what, the stands have emptied. Collingwood must be behind.
75,777.
Not at the moment, Bruce. I reckon about 50 here at the moment.
Jolly knocked it down. Robinson goes after the football. Some of the moves that Brett Bratton has orchestrated tonight have served his side very well. Footy's a funny thing. During the week, a lot of speculation about his future. He's back to the wall, and tonight he's responded. It's like a flat screen TV, but suddenly things are good. At least for the moment, it's that sort of industry. There goes the kick from Beams. Up goes Scotland, takes the mark.
I know you can only play what you got, but I don't think they're going to play 3 200-centimetre blokes again.
No.
I mean, it just slows you down too much.
Well, one of them mightn't be available for a while there.
Anyway, yeah.
And Hampson had started really well tonight in the short time he was there. Judd pushed off it. And then Collins back. Well, Judd and Blair started so well. Carazzo again has been fantastic. Collins has made some mistakes, but he's been handy. That kick forward. Oh, good contest, but the free kick. Harry O'Brien on Eddie Betts is something we might talk about after the match.
Yeah.
Betts has kicked 9 goals on him in 2 matches so far this year.
That one.
O'Brien short. Dawes half volleyed it. And then O'Brien worried out of it. Cruiser. Jude Robinson, well done. Garlett, still Garlett, little left footer, wobbling. Walker's got a taste for it. Dyken couldn't possibly get 4, could he? Off the ground by Clark. Gets it out wide. Shaw out on the full. Just with Collingwood.
That's tackling pressure again.
It's indicative.
I mean, it's just been fantastic tonight. I mean, if you tackle well, you chase hard, you're always at least competitive. You have to make the opposition beat you.
Collingwood in their last 54 matches have lost only 6. 3 to the Cats, 2 to Hawthorn and 1 to Carlton. They have been so hard to beat over the last 3 years, but the Blues are going to join the Hawks as having beaten them twice and Geelong 3. So this is a mighty performance tonight.
Gibbs goes back to Jamison. 25 possessions now for Bryce Gibbs. Scotland would be relishing this. Carazzo's got the football. Carazzo up to 25 as well. Comes back to Gibbs. So junk time, but in the minds of the Blues and their supporters, anything but. This is celebration time. Tui pushed as he kicked, and the ball bounces out of bounds. And for Collingwood, a terrific run comes to an end. Nathan Buckley, never experienced, as I mentioned before, 10 wins in a row as a player. He's done it in his very first season as a coach, but tonight there's a chance that Collingwood not only will mark time but take a tumble later in the round as this ball goes out of bounds on the full from the boot of Robinson.
And Collingwood's modest percentage now sort of it hurts them a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. No, they haven't actually had a whole lot of big wins, and yeah, percentage may well count between 1st and 4th, as high up as that.
Actually, Carlton have been so damaging to Collingwood, haven't they? They beat them by 10 goals early in the year, and tonight they'll probably flip them off top spot. Thomas, so good in that second quarter, and Jamison has been really brave. We didn't think he'd play much of this game. Jolly, still Jolly, got it from Goldsack, but nowhere to go. They retreat, Collingwood. Wellingham, who probably won't be playing next week. Good kick to Thomas, and then Thomas across the ground. Clark, who came in for Brown tonight. It's a mixed reaction about Brown. We're getting mixed messages, whether he had a bit of a knee or whether it was just the balance. Now Buckley winding up with a high long ball forward. Cloak pushing out and takes the mark.
He's probably won the duel, Cloak, but Jamison has stopped him from being a dominating influence, and that's been a fair win in itself.
Kate Simpson hasn't missed a match since round 14, 2005. Heavily concussed tonight.
Big hit from Wellingham, who's on report as the kick goes from Cloak through. He gets his second goal. Had a poster earlier tonight in this term.
Seen it many times when a teammate gets knocked out in an act of courage, and it sort of provides enormous inspiration.
Just got the games there coming up for the Blues. Well, on this form, they all look winnable, don't they?
That's Friday night next week, North Melbourne.
That's going to be a huge one. But Sydney at home also, and Richmond, they'll be the side vying for Carlton for that bottom half of the 8 you'd see at the moment. And Kate Simpson, he's going to struggle to get up next week.
North Melbourne, some sort of a silly chance against the West Coast Eagles. in Hobart, I reckon.
Gee, Collingwood a couple of tests in the next 2 weeks too, haven't they? Geelong and Hawthorn.
Things change very quickly in the AFL. Towards the wing, bullocking his way through. Scotland, knocked on there by McLean, sent back by Carranza. This is Gibbs. Scotland. Yaron been so important back there. Quite often has been devoid of pressure. And McLean, well, what can we say about him? He's up to 28 possessions now.
Super sub, I think, Dennis. That's what we could say about him.
You'd have to think, if you were Carlton, though, about some missed opportunities with him. Obviously, he just fell out of favour and they just didn't give him a shot. And he's proven himself in the last couple of months. He hasn't been their worst player, that's for sure. Swan across the ground, side bottom. Side bottom, number 22. And interesting, because this game is just running its course now. It's 40 years ago Sunday that another number 22, John Greening, was seriously injured behind the play, but that doesn't matter really in terms of what we've seen tonight. Carlton, against all the odds, come firing back.